Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Miss Bree and I'm going to be teaching you all about subtraction, and we're going to be reviewing some subtraction concepts and key terms that we've been covering over the last few days. So if you've been tuning into my lessons, you may recognize some of the stuff that we've been covering. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in and get started. So like I said, by the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to solve subtraction word problems through physical and visual representation. So by the end of this lesson, you guys are going to be pros at subtraction. So let's go ahead and just dive right in and get started. So let's go ahead and start off with this question. What is subtraction? So subtraction is the action of taking away from a total amount or comparing two different amounts, okay? So in this photo here, I put 3 smiley faces. We read from left to right, okay? So there's 3 smiley faces going down vertically. That symbol in the middle is going to be a subtraction symbol. And then we have 2 smiley faces. So the way that we're going to read this problem is 3 smiley faces minus 2 smiley faces. The next symbol is going to be an equal sign, so equals 1 smiley face. So what we're doing here is taking away, so we started with 3 smiley faces. We're going to be taking 2 of those away, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how we can take that away. So we are going to cross off 1 smiley face here. And then we're also going to cross off another smiley face, okay? So I just took away 2 smiley faces, right? Now I'm left with 1 smiley face, which is right here. Okay, so my 1 smiley face, which is right here. So I'll walk you through that again. So we started with 3 smiley faces. Okay, we took away 2 smiley faces right here. If it's easier, you can always start with this picture where there's 3 smiley faces and cross them off. And then we are left with 1 smiley face, okay? Another helpful tool that might be the most useful tool in the world when solving math is going to be these guys right here, your fingers, okay? These are really good tools for you to use while adding and subtracting. So let's pretend that I have, just like our last problem, 3 crayons or colored pencils, okay? 3. I'm going to take away 2 of those. 2. If I was doing this on my finger, I would be taking away 2. How many crayons now am I left with? 1. Okay, so if you do that on your finger, start with 3, take away 2, you're left with 1. So that is subtraction. Taking away a total amount. So now I'm going to model this one for you. So we're going to put this together in a word problem. The word problem says there are 5 bumblebees. 3 bumblebees fly away to make honey. Now, how many bumblebees are left? So now how many bumblebees are left? So what I'm going to do is I am going to exit out of this. And so my first step is to read that problem out loud. So that can help us fully understand what the question is asking. My next step, I'm going to circle these numbers here. 5, right? So I'm going to circle the number 5. I also see the number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle the number 3. And this is going to help us when we go to draw our problem out and solve our problem, okay? So there are 5 bumblebees and 3 bumblebees fly away. So that means those 3 butterflies are leaving. Now, how many bumblebees are left? So my key word in this is going to be left, right? This is telling me right here that I am solving for subtraction, okay? Because I am taking away some bumblebees that flew away. They're flying away. So I'm gonna go ahead and bold that word as well because that is another key term that might help you identify that this is subtraction. Okay, so let's read that one more time. It says there are 5 bumblebees. 3 bumblebees fly away to make honey. Now, how many bumblebees are left? Let's go ahead and see. So I started with 5 bumblebees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 bumblebees are flying away. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cross off 3 bumblebees because we know they're leaving. They're not going to be here anymore, right? They're flying away. 1, 2, and we'll cross off this middle bumblebee. All of those 3 bumblebees just flew away. I'm left with how many? 2. I am now left with 2 bumblebees that are left over. So therefore, we have our number sentence, 5 bumblebees minus 3 bumblebees equals 2. So 2 bumblebees are left. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and I want you guys to practice doing these math problems along with me. I want you to grab about 2 to 3 pieces of paper, however many you think you'll need. Go ahead and grab some crayons, colored pencils, or markers, just something to draw with so you have some tools to work with. You don't need to get all 3 of them, just get one of the 3. So I'm going to give you the next 2 minutes. You can go ahead and pause this video, go gather your materials, and come back in about 2 minutes, and we will be ready to move on to our next portion of the lesson. All right, so that should have been enough time for you to come back. We're happy to have you back. I'm going to share my screen with you again. So I hope that you've gathered your materials. You should have 2 pieces of paper, and you should also have some sort of a writing tool like colored pencils, markers, or crayons. So now we're going to do this problem together, and then the next one you're going to be doing on your own. So we're going to read this together out loud. So if you would like to please join me. It says, Cooper and Lola went to pick oranges today. Cooper picked 12 oranges and Lola picked 6 oranges. How many oranges did Cooper pick? So first we read our problem aloud. Now we're going to go ahead and circle those numbers. Oops. So now we're going to go ahead and circle those numbers. So I have my red circle here. I see the number 12. I also see the number 6. So I know that I'm going to be focusing on 12 oranges and 6 oranges. I know that I'm going to be taking oranges away or comparing an amount because my question is saying, how many more oranges did Cooper pick? Okay, so this is letting me know that I need to take away an amount to figure out how many more oranges did Cooper pick than Lola. We know Cooper picked more oranges. He picked 12 oranges. So we want to figure out Well, how many more did he pick than Lola? So I want you guys to draw, if you have an orange crayon, go ahead and pull that out. I want you to draw 12 oranges. Okay, so 1, 2, just like this. I'll stop, just like our picture here. 3, 4, 5, 6, just like how I'm drawing this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I just drew 12 oranges. Okay, when you get to the number 12, go ahead and stop there. Don't move on. And then we are going to draw, just coloring these oranges in here. Okay, so we have our 12 oranges for Cooper, just like our picture shown. Now Lola picked 6. So below that, I'm going to represent Lola's 6 oranges by drawing 6 oranges below, okay? So we have Cooper's basket of oranges, and now we're gonna have Lola's. So draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 oranges for Lola, 12 oranges for Cooper. Okay, your picture should just look something like this. So 12 oranges for Cooper and 6 oranges for Lola. So now we want to figure out what is the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen for a minute, and we're going to go ahead and just work this problem out on paper together before I show you what I had on my screen. So we're going to go ahead and we want to know, well, what is the difference between these two quantities, these two amounts? Well, Cooper picked 12, Lola picked 6. So now, how many more does Cooper have than Lola? Well, since we know that Lola picked 6, let's go ahead and cross out 6 of Cooper's oranges with another color. So I'm going to grab my darkest color here. I have brown. I'm going to cross out 6, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. We need to cross out 2 more. 1, 2. Okay, so we just crossed out all of Lola's. So let's go ahead and cross out Lola's down here too. We can just cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now let's go ahead and cover this part up. So how many more oranges are left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and circle your amount of oranges that are left. So now by solving this, this tells me that Cooper, because this is Cooper's pile, we can write that. We can write Cooper and we can write Lola. Okay, so Cooper's pile and Lola's pile. So now we know that Cooper picked 6 more oranges than Lola, okay? Because Lola only picked 6, so we're gonna cross out 6 on Cooper's pile because we wanna get rid of 6. We know that they both picked at least 6 oranges. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left over. So now that is telling me that Cooper picked 6 more oranges than Lola. Okay, so now we can cross those off on my paper here. So we're going to cross off all of those oranges that we know that Lola picked. And now by this picture, we see that there are 6 total oranges left. So therefore, 12 oranges that Cooper picked minus 6 oranges that Lola picked equal Cooper picked 6 more oranges than Lola. So 12 minus 6 equals 6. So now I want you guys to do this one by yourself or with somebody nearby. Let me go ahead and pull up the correct one that I want you guys to do. So this one here says there are, oh, I don't think that you can see my screen. Sorry, friends. So the problem you're going to be working out on your paper, and I'm going to be doing this alongside you. However, I want you guys to focus on doing this mostly by yourself. So it says, there are 7 tacos. Emmy ate some of them. Now there are 4 tacos left. How many tacos did Emmy eat? So we know we're going to be solving with the number 7 and the number 4. We know we're going to be taking away an amount because it says Emmy ate some tacos, right? And now there are 4 tacos left. We just don't know how many tacos Emmy ate. So let's go ahead and draw our 7 tacos. So I'm going to grab my crayon. I'm going to draw 7 tacos. 1, 2, 3. This is how my drawing looks. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, 7. So now my next step in the problem, we need to so we know we started with the number 7. Let's go back to our problem. And it says Emmy ate some of them, but we don't know how many. We know that there's 4 tacos left. So think about how can we figure out 4 tacos being left? So we know Emmy ate some of these tacos. Here's Emmy. But how many did she eat? Well, let's go ahead and cross these out. I already started it for you. So we cross out how many Emmy ate, right? So she ate 2. I need to cross out 4 tacos. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So we crossed out 4 because that's how many it said that she ate. So now there are 3 tacos left, right? So we're going, so we know there are 3 tacos left, right? Make that bigger for you. Oh, here. Let's go ahead and also cross out the rest of our tacos, right? So Emmy ate 4. So on your paper, you should have something that looks somewhat like this. So on your paper, we started off with 7, but we know Emmy ate 4 of those. So let's cross off 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm left with 1, 2, and 3 tacos, just like my picture shown here. Now, I want you guys to challenge yourself, and if you remember a number sentence, I'm going to give you the next 30 seconds to a minute to write your number sentence, okay? So I will give you a hint. A number sentence looks something along the lines of this type of a setup. Okay, so a number sentence is going to have a number here minus a number here equaling a number here. Okay, so I'm going to give you the next 30 seconds to think of your number sentence if you're up for a challenge. If not, no worries. I know that math can sometimes be super tricky, and I'm going to show you what numbers to put in your number sentence, okay? So think, if we started off with 7, I'm going to have to put the number 7 somewhere. I also remember crossing off 4, so I'm going to have to put the number 4. Do I put it here or do I put it here? And I also know that my final answer is 3. So I have to know, do I start my sentence this way or do we start it this way, right? So with just the time, your number sentence is going to look something along the lines of this. Since you started off with 7 tacos, you're going to put the number 7 in the first square. Okay, this is creating a number sentence. I started off with 7 tacos. Emmy ate Emmy ate 4 tacos. So now 7 minus 4, we know that answer already, is 3. So I'm going to put my number 3 right there. So this is what your number sentence should look like, and I have a bigger version right here for you. So we started off with 7 tacos. Emmy ate 4 of them. Now there are 3 left over. So therefore, that missing number in the middle, we wanted to know how many tacos Emmy ate. We know that Emmy ate 4 tacos and there are 3 left over. So now we're going to quickly wrap up. I wanted to ask you a few questions. If you remember, what does subtraction mean? How do we subtract? Okay, so what subtraction is you are taking away an amount. And the way that you do that is by crossing off. You can count on your fingers, right? I'm taking away 2, so now I'm left with no fingers. There's so many ways that you can subtract. I hope my techniques today were allowed you to visually see and physically represent subtraction by drawing. If so, you achieved our objective, and thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next time.